Welcome to today's multiple choice Monday, and this should be a relatively easy equilibrium question looking at the effects of different conditions on the yield of a reaction, and the correct answer was C. Let's just look though at how we would word our answer if we were having to explain and describe the effect of these two different changes on equilibrium, and look at how we can make our wording a little bit more efficient so that we're just using the same words every time and that we don't have to change too much. If we try to change too much in our explanations, we often might end up making silly mistakes. So the first one is looking at the effect of pressure, and some little stock phrases that we can always use when explaining this would be that high pressure will favour the side with fewer moles of gas. Got some dodgy spelling there. And it's important that we put in the of gas part here. Now, of course, for this reaction, we're actually talking about low pressure, so we might want to reverse that statement. Low pressure favours the side with more moles of gas. And then in how we would relate that to this equation, that is the right-hand side, which explains why lower pressure will favour the right-hand side, meaning the equilibrium will move to the right, make more Y and Z, and that will give us a higher yield. Then when we're talking about temperature, we again want to talk about the effect of temperature on exo or endothermic reactions, and again we want some stock phrases that we can use all the time. And so one phrase that we can always use is that high temperature favours the endothermic reaction. So Le Chatelier tells us that a reaction at equilibrium will respond to counteract changes. Endothermic reactions take energy in, so a higher temperature will favour the endothermic reaction. And if you do a little bit more about equilibrium calculations, delta G, delta S, all sorts of things like that, you will actually learn more mathematically why that side is favoured. But for now, we can just use Le Chatelier's principle to describe what will happen. High temperature favours the endothermic reaction, and then we just need to identify which direction, in this case, the forward reaction is endothermic, and that's because we've got our delta H is positive. Of course, if we wanted to write that vice versa, we could say low temperature favours the exothermic reaction, and then identify which direction in the reaction is exothermic. So that's just a little quick tip, if you like, on how to phrase your wording when it comes to Le Chatelier and equilibrium questions. If you're feeling inspired to do a bit more revision, don't forget there are exam style questions and videos on my website, and also don't forget, if you haven't already done so, download my 101 revision activities. There's one set for AS level and one set for A level. And you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook for more A-level chemistry tips and revision materials.